Once the Okanagan Sun gets a 20-point lead on them, they kind of fold, but not this team.
There, the kick was up and good, so the score is 34-21 here in the fourth quarter. So don't go away. There's still lots of action to come.
13 points separating them, so 2 touchdowns here for the Hilltops could put them in the lead. And we're not counting them out, folks.
Battle of the Wild West. The Okanagan Sun against the Saskatoon Hilltops here at the Apple Bowl in Kelowna, the first time that the game has been hosted here.
And Rod Muirhead and Spencer McLennan, specialty men for the punt return here, waiting for the kickoff. It'll come from the 45-yard line of the Saskatoon Hilltops.
Well, Dan, do they go for the short kick?
Well, I'll tell you, anything's possible right now. Number 8, Christian Cabrera, doing the... No, I thought he was, yeah, he's doing the kicking duties here. And it is a short kick.
It is a short kick. Oh, and there's a flag on the play. We'll have to see what happens over there. The Saskatoon Hilltops were signaling that it was their ball.
Yeah, but the kicker didn't touch that, Al. I saw one of the Saskatoon players get his hand on that ball. And of course,
we'll wait for the official call, but the OK Sun does take over. And they'll take over in excellent field position.
Well, on the short yardage kick, it has to be the kicker that makes the reception on the ball.
Well, it was an offside against the Saskatoon Hilltops. And the Okanagan Sun, the player must have been the last one to touch the ball before it went out of bounds. So
yeah,
the Okanagan Sun does take over.
I do believe Sun player did get his hands on that as well.
And the OK Sun takes over at about the midfield stripe, so it'll be 1st and 10 from there. Shane Breston in there. He starts his count. There's the snap and the handoff. Troy Grado in there.
Back up to the line of scrimmage, maybe 1 yard on the play.
Not much room in there for Troy. He gained maybe a yard or 2 on that. So that'll bring on 2nd and 9. There you have a look at Nick Rainbow, and that young man broke his foot in last week's game against the Richmond Raiders.
He ought to have a sock on that, Al. His toes are likely cold right now.
I wouldn't doubt it. It's a little cool up here, but the wind has quit, so it's not too bad. Shane Breston back, looking to pass, looking downfield here. Oh, Tom Wixon just couldn't bring it in.
Good job there by number 20, also of the Saskatoon Hilltops, Kevin Gentner, to get his hand in there and pull that ball away.
Well, we've seen all kinds of action today. As I said, we've seen passing attacks, we've seen running attacks, we've seen razzle-dazzle. It's been an excellent football game.
Well, we've had some requests, Al, wondering or not whether Shaw Cable was going back to cover the final. What we do hope is that Cable Company covers it back east and sends us a tape, because we'd sure like to see it.
Well, there was a good kick, and Darren Hockman still alive up the left-hand side. Just an excellent run back there by Darren.
You bet it was, Al. He's all the way back up to the 42-yard line, I believe. 6 minutes remaining in the game.
34-21 the score. The Okanagan Sun over the Saskatoon Hilltops. Anything can happen yet. We still have lots of time left. And Saskatoon has shown what they can do. They can be explosive.
Okay, we're starting to get the crowd back in this
Reeder out of the shotgun. And a handoff. And he may have made it back to the line of scrimmage. That would be about it, Dan.
Yeah, we had 4 Okanagan Sun players in there. There you see number 56 getting up. And number 72 in on that tackle.
And of course, that's big Roy Mino, the nose guard in there. Here's Reeder, back to pass, looking out on the left-hand side.
Well, they're wasting no time now putting the ball in play. Number 79 again, Mark Olson picks that one up and rumps for...
He stepped out of bounds down around the 45-yard line of the Okanagan Sun. So an excellent play again.
A nice gain on that one. Of course, it's easy to tell where that first down marker is when you're playing the sidelines.
Well, Saskatoon Hilltops are moving this ball. They're reading the defense pretty good.
Pitch out, that was a
Pitch out, and look out, he's dumped in the back. There's a big loss there. My goodness, Darren Hockman got trapped about 20 yards deep.
Ken Perry, number 56, what a job he did getting back there. Dropping number 21 for just a huge loss, about 20 yards.
Well, Darren Hockman got caught about 20 yards deep there, Dan. And they were trying that reverse they tried before, and it didn't quite work this time.
Well, remember, that was the same thing, and it was probably number 56. We failed to catch the number last time that almost dropped him. This time, makes no mistake.
Perry doing an excellent job in there. Here's Reeder.
Second and
back
30.
to pass. Second and 30. Boy, they're looking long, and that one goes incomplete.
Yeah.
As Maury Norton just couldn't bring it in.
Listen to the crowd on this one now, Al. They know what a big play that was for the Okanagan Sun. They're turning the ball over to the Sun at their own 40-yard line, and that's a big play.
Oh, indeed it is. That puts the Sun in excellent field position. We know what the Sun can do. We've seen it so many times this year, Dan. These guys are explosive, and at any given point, they can just break loose.
For sure, and from the 40-yard line, we know that passing play to Corey Lang, how dangerous that is, or Rod Muirhead on the far side.
Are they going to pass it, or are they going to kick it? Let's see. It's a kick. Nice high kick.
Taken at the 30-yard line.
Rod Muirhead up that right-hand side. He sees a lot of daylight. Oh, and he made an excellent run.
You bet he did. Muirhead, just a beautiful run back.
An excellent run in there by Rod Muirhead after a high towering kick.
What a 17-yard run back on that play as we see him coming off the field, number 10, Rod Muirhead.
3:51 left in this fourth quarter. 34-21 the score. The Okanagan Sun over the Saskatoon Hilltops. And we are seeing a Wild West shootout here at the Apple Bowl in Kelowna. Brisbane still in there as quarterback. Takes the snap. There's a handoff. Oh, that ball was fumbled.
It's recovered by the Hilltops, I believe.
It looks like Troy Grado got in there to recover it, Dan.
Maybe he did. What a big play that'll be, Al.
Boy, that is scary stuff.
I thought the Hilltops had that one, but Grado was the first man in there.
As a matter of fact, they gained about 2 yards on it, I think.
A fumble ahead, you bet it is. And a gainer, second and 8 on the clock.
Fortunate that Troy Grado grabbed onto that.
Oh,
boy, they were looking at heavy danger. Brisbane, there's the count, there's the snap. He's passing, looking for the left-hand side. Oh, and Lang got it back.
Are they? If that's a fumble, that's another big play, Al. Corey Lang.
It was almost as though he threw the ball back at him.
He had that one, and just as he went to step, he's kind of kneed it out of his own hands. What a different play that is for a guy like that.
Well, the Okanagan Sun comes up with it, and it's a first down.
Well, so they're calling that a reception and a fumble. What an unusual
a fumble
play.
recovery, my goodness.
And a heads-up play by Corey Lang because there was all kinds of white shirts coming, and he just dove for that ball.
Well, Dan, I wish we had an instant replay up here. I would love to see that again.
It'd be beautiful to show that, and just to show the professionalism of a receiver like Corey Lang to realize that it might have been a fumble and to get back on top of the ball.
Let's hope the Sun gets a little composure back here. That's 2 plays in a row.
Yeah, they're going to have to settle down.
Here's Brisbane. He hands off this time to Ed Kremenek.
To the sidelines.
Boy, 3 or 4 Saskatoon Hilltop players on him.
He's forced out of bounds about the 42-yard line. So he'll have about 6 yards on the play.
Well, 2:36 left here in the fourth quarter. 34-21 the score. The Okanagan Sun over the Saskatoon Hilltops. You're seeing it in a Wild West shootout.
And now what it comes down to, Al, is possession of the ball.
Indeed it does.
The Okanagan Sun wants to run as much time off the clock as they can now before they turn the ball over. So first downs really become important here now.
Well, they credit the Sun with a gain of 5 yards, so they'll scrimmage the ball 2nd and 5. From about the Saskatoon Hilltops 48-yard line.
Did you catch a timeout? There must have been, Al, because they're taking an awful lot of time here. We see Bresden over at the sidelines, discussions with Lawrence Nagy, the coach. Well, there's going to be pandemonium here after this game, Al.
Oh, indeed there is, and we have a record crowd here today, and no one's going home. I believe we had somewhere around 1,500 to 2,000 last week. And we must have almost double that here today, I think.
Yeah, estimates are 2,500. It may
Time's
even
back
more.
in. Bresnan passing over on this left-hand side.
Good to Corey Lang. He's right around
And
the first down mark.
We might also, we told you last week that Corey Lang had bronchitis when he was during that game, and he still has it, and he's still doing an excellent job in there.
He sure is.
So he's not 100%.
He's been a big factor. Bresnan hurt on the play as he was hit after he let that pass go. So let's hope it's nothing serious.
Well, looks like he might have had the wind knocked out of him a little bit there, Dan.
He's up and back in there.
You bet. And a draw play up the middle, Ed Kremenick. Oh, and he's fighting.
He fought hard.
Look at the second effort in there,
That was
Dan.
beautiful. He gets a few yards on the play. It looks like 5. That's a lot of yards against that big line of the Saskatoon Hilltop. Now we see Holmes preparing for a possible field goal attempt.
Well, of course, that
Actually,
Hilltop,
yeah, it is Holmes.
the Hilltop's offensive line averages 250 pounds. I don't know about the defensive line. Bresnan takes the snap. He's back, looking to
for
pass,
Lang,
looking
deep.
in the end zone.
Almost
Oh,
intercepted.
a good defensive play there on behalf of the Hilltops.
Yeah,
Rob Ox.
number 5, Rob Ox.
And
Yes.
I didn't see who else was in there, Dan, but Rob Ox was one of them. And I think that Kevin Gettner was the other one.
It was number 20. Both fellas in there.
So excellent defensive play there because Corey Lang would have had a sure 6 again. We've got 2 minutes and 2 seconds left on the clock.
All right, we see Holmes going for a field goal, and number 73, Trevor Bannatyne, holding for him.
He'll hit this from about the 35.
It's long enough. It's wide.
It's wide, and they concede the single point.
That's unusual seeing them concede the single point. Of course, with a minute 56 left, it's doubtful that the Hilltops are going to get 2 touchdowns. But 2 touchdowns now would only force a tie in this game.
Well, we'll have to see what they elect to do, but you see it there on your screen. The Okanagan Sun, 35 points. The Saskatoon Hilltops, 21. And Saskatoon takes over at about their own 35-yard line. They'll scrimmage 1st and 10. Reeder passes out to this near side. Oh, and nowhere to go.
A little screen to Olsen, who
Mark Olsen just had nowhere to go on that.
No. He didn't even get a chance to turn upfield, Al. He was hit immediately.
Well, Paul St. Pierre was in there to put a stopper on him.
There's the coach.
This guy isn't very tall, but boy, he is big. Here's Reeder. Out of the shotgun, he's looking lots of time.
Back
Mark
to
Olsen comes
again.
across the middle, but he's tripped up.
Got a first down, though. He's up to about the 54-yard line. Pardon me, yeah, about that. We'll see where they mark it.
Well,
Maybe
Trevor
it's the 50.
Bannatyne got through there to catch him by the foot.
Okay, they mark it at the 46. But it is good enough for a first down.
And, of course, Saskatoon in their hurry-up offense. There's Reeder over the ball. Takes the snap. He's back. He's looking to pass again over on this near side.
Almost knocked out of the air.
Darren Hockman with the reception there. Not much room for him, though.
Number 65, Jamie Bennett, got in there in a hurry and got his hand up, but he just missed the ball. Another player down, an Okanagan Sun player, injured on the play.
Well, we've seen an excellent football game here, Dan. I'm sure that no one in the stands here has been disappointed.
I'll tell you, this is a good game in preparation for the finals, that's for sure. We saw the Okanagan Sun come out tentatively, but then get back to their game plan and put points on the board. Play strong offensively and defensively.
Well, I would have to say, Dan, since we started broadcasting, doing the commentaries on these football games, this has to be one of the better games that we've watched.
Well, I think it is, and the reason being, Al, is because the Hilltops haven't come out and laid down and played dead. I'll tell you, they're doing everything they can to keep abreast of the scoring of the Okanagan Sun, and the Sun's just shutting them down. Other than a couple of big plays for touchdowns.
Big Roy Mino, but he's coming off under his own steam. He was complaining earlier this week about, he said he didn't have too much of a challenge this year. and he was looking forward to this game.
Well, he's being challenged in this game, that's for sure. And here's
Reeder looking to pass
Takes
again.
the pass,
oh,
long.
he just got that one away. Oh, and an excellent reception there by Darren Hockman.
Number 73 there, Bannatyne. I thought he got his hand on the ball, Al, but...
And Saskatoon's in their hurry-up offense, and boy, does that puts them deep into Okanagan Sun territory.
There we see number 72 in pain, Roy Mino.
They'll scrimmage the ball about 1st and 10 from approximately the 20-yard line.
That was a
Here's
big
Reeder,
reception.
back to pass, over on the right-hand side again. Another. Oh, and we have a flag on the field way deep there, Dan.
Yeah, there's going to be a personal foul here in at the uprights, as Olsen made a nice reception, but he was hit immediately.
Indeed he did. It looks like this one's going against the Saskatoon Hilltops.
It is. So that's a little bit of a tough play there by the Hilltops.
Well, it'll be 1st down over. Of course, there's only 1 minute and 2 seconds left in this football game. There you have a shot of Roy Mino having a little drink of juice on the sideline.
Well, he'll be in shape for the next game. You can.
It looks like
put
he's
your
hurting
money
a little bit there, Dan. This, of course, is Roy's last year.
Definitely in pain. We thought so. It's roughing.
Roughing call against Saskatoon.
That'll hurt them. That's a big penalty.
Indeed it will. 1st down over, and it should be about 25 yards, I think, Dan.
Well, from the original
20
line
yards,
of scrimmage,
pardon me.
yeah, it'll only be an extra 10.
So 1st and 20. And they'll scrimmage that ball approximately the, what would it be, about the 32-yard line or the 28-yard line, I guess it would be, Dan. 35-21 the score, the Okanagan Sun over the Saskatoon Hilltops. 1 minute and 2 seconds left on the clock. We have a timeout on the field, so we'll resume play momentarily.
Number 22, the quarterback, was in discussing plays with the bench. He's back out there now, and they're ready to go.
Well, 1st and 20 from about the 28 of the Okanagan Sun. Reeder still in there as quarterback. Takes the snap. He's looking.
Little screen.
Oh,
to number
that
11.
one went absolutely nowhere as Maury Norston pulled that ball in, and he was decked immediately.
Yeah. Good job by the Okanagan Sun defense reading that play. Of course, they've done a good job of that throughout the whole game, other than those 2 big passing plays.
You folks in Saskatoon, we certainly hope that you are enjoying this game. You've sent an excellent football team over here, and they are certainly something to be proud of.
Oh, you bet. They gotta hold their heads high in this game. I'll tell you, they've come out and done a good job against the number 2 football team.
Here we go, Reeder out of the shotgun. Oh, and he couldn't find anyone open. He's elected to run it. He's got lots of room to hold. He's mobbed.
Yeah, he's run down by number 56 and by number 75. So Darcy Kilby in there along with Ken Perry. And the ball's turned over. Well, they had to go for the 6 on that, Al. There was no sense trying anything different.
Well, no, they had to go for it, Dan. They had to try it. They had to try and pull something out for this football game. But they've done an excellent job in here today. Certainly nothing to be ashamed of.
That's for sure. We'll probably see a rush here now as they got to try and turn the ball over.
It's, as far as I'm concerned, the best game that we have called yet.
Well, it's one of the closest, too.
Well, Breston's still in there as quarterback. He takes the snap. Hands off there, it looks like to Ed Kremenek.
He gets about 4 yards on the play, maybe 5. So he's done a good job every time he's got his hands on the ball today. There's Lawrence Nagy.
Lawrence Nagy, the head coach for the Okanagan Sun.
He's got a bit of a smile on his face.
Talking to the quarterback coach, Shane Breston's older brother.
Right, and what a fine bunch of volunteers for this Okanagan Sun team. It's a community team and supported by literally dozens of volunteers, Al.
40 seconds left on the clock. Breston still in there as quarterback, takes a snap. It's a handoff in there to Ed Kremenek again. He tries to turn it upfield. He's got some running room. Look out. And a good first down and a good second effort there by Ed Kremenek.
What a nice running job. That's exactly the way we see
and the
Carrasco and Nagy run the ball.
The coach just got drowned.
Yeah, we saw that, of course, last game with about this much time left, too. I don't think he minds. Oh, you'd think they'd know what's coming, you know, but the guys seem to know to time it just perfectly. And we've got our camera in there right on.
Here we go, 17 seconds left. Shane Bresson still in there as quarterback. There's a handoff again.
Kremenek, about 2 yards on the play. 10 seconds. We're down to 10 seconds.
35-21 the score. The Okanagan Sun over the Saskatoon Hilltops, and it has been a good game.
Yeah, they're feeling it now. They're starting to get excited down there on the bench.
There you have it, folks. The Western champions, the champions of Western Canada, the Okanagan Sun from Kelowna, British Columbia.
As soon as this ball snaps, we're going to see timeout.
And a standing ovation as the crowd runs out onto the field.
Well, we're going to savor this moment for a little bit as we see the whole crowd on their feet.
Well, you can see them down there, folks, holding their helmets up. The Okanagan Sun, the Western champions of Junior Football League, and they retain that Gillespie Trophy. And what a sweet victory it was. They were expecting Regina over here. Saskatoon came over instead, and what a football game. They gave us an excellent fight here.
It was beautiful. It feels good, Al, because it's kind of the way we called it. We've watched this football team all year. We know the depth that they've built offensively and defensively. And they came out here today and acted just like the professionals they are.
You're quite right, Dan. There's a shot, of course, of the Saskatoon Hilltops. And, you know, unfortunately, there does have to be a loser in these games. In this case, it was the Saskatoon Hilltops. Still champions in their own right. They put up an excellent fight here. It was just an excellent football game.
For sure. We heard Murray Smith say earlier he'd like to see a tie here. Of course, that's impossible when you're in a final game.
Well, as we said, we had Murray Smith on, and of course he had mixed emotions, being as he used to play for the Hilltops, and here he is living in Kelowna. He's a businessman here now, and he wished it could end in a tie, and of course we know that it just is not possible.
A great day for Kelowna.
Well, we gave you a brief recap in the first half. You saw them going to the dressing rooms at a score of 20-6. And the OK Sun came back. Number 21, Mike Marasco, went in for another touchdown. Boosted the score to 27-6. That was at 12:30 in the third quarter. Then number 31, Ed Kremenek, went in. Another touchdown, 34-6 the score. And that came at 6:27 in the third. Then Saskatchewan came back. Touchdown number 21, Darren Hockman. And that boosted the score to 34-14. That was at 5:18 in the third. Number 74 for Saskatchewan.
1, 2, 3.
34-21 at 7:26. The OK Sun, of course, another.
And we have the teams over at the 55-yard line for some presentations.
Okay, we've got our microphone down at field level, and we're going to catch the presentations here now.
Let's get the teams over at the 55-yard line. We have some presentations.
Come on, guys. Let's go.
We'll just hold back here and let you folks hear the presentations, the awarding of the trophies, defensive players, and so on and so forth.
Well, we got to expect a bit of a delay. We got lots of fans on the field congratulating players and so on.
I hope.
Our thanks, of course, goes out to all the coaching staff here, and especially to Mr. and Mrs. Aguirre, who sit up here in the stands with us. And, of course, John Aguirre, one of the former coaches of the Okanagan Sun. He's still pretty active within the club. And his good wife, Shirley, who feeds us coffee and cookies up here.
We're going to present.
Beautiful.
We're going to present the Labatt's outstanding offensive and defensive players of the game. First of all, the Labatt's outstanding defensive player of the game is Peter White from the Okanagan Sun.
All right.
Well,
Peter, where are you?
White, a pretty happy boy.
Where are you, Peter?
He's probably back.
Celebrate afterwards.
There he is.
There he is, folks, number 41.
And now, the Labatt's outstanding offensive player of the game. And what an outstanding game he played. Shane Bresden, the Okanagan Sun.
All right.
Well, that kind of indicates Shane for not having won any of the All-Star awards this year. But certainly he has been the biggest factor in this Okanagan Sun team, Dan.
He sure has. That's sweet winning that one, I'll tell you. Look at the smile on his face.
We can only add our accolades there to Shane Bresden.
We want to thank the Saskatoon Hilltops and their fans for coming to Kelowna and putting on a great football game. It was a great Western semifinal game. The super game.
You bet it was.
A Western championship. Now, to present the trophy, we'll ask the captains to come forward. This is the A.J. Gillespie Trophy, representing the Western Canadian Championship. To make the presentation is Peter Sawchuk, the Commissioner of the Canadian Junior Football League.
There's the cup, folks. That's the one we've been telling you about.
Everybody wants to get their hands on this.
Oh, you bet they do.
Next stop, Burlington and the Canadian Championship.
And that comes up, folks, on November the 12th. Burlington, Ontario.
Fantastic, guys. Absolutely.
Well, we're going to have to wrap up here, Al. Some final comments.
Well, what can you say, Dan? We've just been watching exciting football all the way through. This has to be, of course, one of the best games that we have ever seen. And what better way to end it, of course. The Okanagan Sun, here in their home town, their home field, did just an excellent job.
I want to go to the final.
I'd love to go myself. I don't know if we can talk Shaw Cable into it. And on behalf of Shaw Cable 11, we'd like to thank all the staff, all the crew, the director, James Tozer, cameraman, Jim McEwen, Craig McNaughton, Dan Deacon on audio, Tara Shaw on titles, and Rick, my goodness, I keep losing Rick's name, I don't know why. Any others that we've left out, we'd just like to thank you very much. You've done an excellent job for us. On behalf of Al Ferguson and Dan Crockett, we've had a wonderful time. Hope everyone's enjoyed the game.
And good luck to the Okanagan Sun in the Canadian final.
You're Canadian champions.
Who's the winner in the
Thanks for viewing.